Hey, kings and queens. Today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. So stop, Holy Spirit speaking, stop pouring into vessels that are empty, they got a hole in them. You wonder why things are not sticking in your life, why things not sticking in your friendships, why things not sticking in your relationships, why things not sticking because you're pouring into an empty vessel that has a hole in it. No matter what you pour into it, it's not going to be filled. Sometimes the things you're trying to pour into has a void, and only voids can be filled by Jesus Christ. Only God can fill that void. So this season, we're not pouring into empty vessels that got a hole in it. Today, you make sure that what you're pouring into, it's not empty, and it's not have a hole in it. Because you'll be pouring into something, wonder why you're not getting a return on what you're pouring into. Sometimes even the things that you're pouring into, you're not going to get the return there. Just because you're planting seeds somewhere to help somebody else be delivered, to be set free by your testimony and what you went through. You may be pouring a seed in somebody else's child, but that seed that you point in somebody else's child, somebody else may pour that seed in your child, and your child is delivered and set free. Just because you plant something don't mean that you may get that harvest right then, but when it's God time, it is going to come. And just know the things that you planted, God heard, God seen the things that you planted 10 years ago, last season, everything you planted. That test you stood up for, you stayed up all night for, you crammed, you thought just because you failed that one test that you stayed up all night for, but he already seen the sacrifice you made. But you don't know, baby, that exam you got coming up, you gonna pass it. Those tears you cried when you was a little girl and you thought God forgot about you. Kings, you thought God forgot about you when those people left you, when people laughed at you, when those people jugged at you. God didn't forget. He bottled those tears up so it can grow. It's going to be in that bottle that he planted up your tears, because baby, them tears you need it for to grow that seed for next season. Just know that those tears you cried, it's going to bear fruit. It's going to bear good fruit. Just know that this season, stop trying to pour into empty vessels that got holes in it. Worry about whatever you planting. It may not come and grow. It's going to grow, but it may not come up, because everything you plant don't come right up. It takes time. It takes the season. It takes the right weather. It takes the pressure. It takes all of that things to get uprooted. It needs God's hand on everything that was put in the ground. It needs God's hand to remove the dead things, the dead things around it that's choking it, the unhealed things that's in your life. It needs God's hand to unheal those bad memories, those bad seeds, those bad word curses over you. It needs God's hand to heal your womb. It needs God's hands to heal your body. It needs God's hands to heal your mind, heal your thoughts, so you can have peace. Just know that what you planted is gonna bear fruit. The season is coming. It's God's timing. Don't worry about the weather. Don't worry about who was against it. Don't worry about who coming against it, who's sending attacks. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about the enemy, because God got you. God is your father. But this season, make sure you're watching what you got going on. Stop trying to pour into empty vessels. That it's an empty vessel and it got a hole in it, and you're not going to get a return on it. Sometimes God let you keep pouring into people so you can learn a lesson. Because next season, you going to need that same thing that you was pouring into somebody. He needs you to pour into somebody else. But he used that as training so you can see what produces fruit, and know that even though you pour into something, that you may not get the return from that person, but you may get the return from something else, a deliverance, a healing for something else. You may pour into somebody financially, but that financially seed, it will be for your next, for something to be healed in your family. Somebody been bound with addiction. Somebody been bound with molestation. Someone been bound with Look, somebody been bound with depression. Somebody been bound with suicide. Just because you sow a seed, you be obedient and sow a seed. Because that seed can save somebody's life. That seed can be a prayer. That seed can be things. It could be whatever God say, sow, you sow. Whatever God say, speak, you speak. Whatever God say, pray, you pray. But then also be obedient when God tell you to stop pouring into that empty vessel that got a hole in it. Because sometimes that thing that you keep pouring into, it ain't going to bring fruit. Some of that things are cursed by God. Sometimes God cursed the fig tree because it want to keep what it want to do and didn't want to bear fruit. So it was going to tell it what it going to do. Because sometimes God will curse some people, some things, because it's going to tell God, its creator, what it's going to do. And God said, you won't bear fruit, baby. You cursed right there. Boom, you cursed. So that right there. Make sure you know who you connected to. And make sure you watch who you treat with bad behavior and attitudes, because you don't know who God is sending to help you. You don't know who God is sending to test your heart. You may have been praying for something, saying, God, I'm healed, I'm delivered. But he sent another person, a situation, for you to see how your heart really feel about people. He may even put you in a situation where a person is slandering a person's name or telling a lie on somebody. He's trying to see if you will go back to him and ask God, is it true, to get verification from him, not from man, but verification from him. But you will sit there and listen to a man's word about somebody's character, somebody's situation, and not knowing that person is a false prophet, is lying, is slandering against that person, and not even know that your blessings is held up because you sat there and let man and let the enemy deceive you by your own devices, by your own understanding. God said, lead now on your own understanding. Let him direct your ways. So this season, we're not going to be pouring in empty vessels. They got a hole in it. If God say pour, you pour. If God say, you say. God say, sow, you sow. God say pray, you pray. God say go, you go. God say give it up, give it up. God say give your car up, give your house up, give whatever you have to give up, give it up. God say do it. Baby, obedience is better than sacrifice this season, baby. You don't want to miss what God got for you. You don't want to miss your deliverance. You don't want to miss your healing. You don't want to miss the hand of God, because you